muted.
All right, we are recording. Fantastic. Again, thank you for joining us. If you can't hear the audio, please make sure you dial into the number listed or use the access code or join us via your GoToWebinar app on your smart device or via your computer. Welcome, you new Troop Cookie managers. We want to make sure that we have some informational webinars for y'all to feel comfortable and prepared for the cookie season. So let's dive in. Okay, so a little housekeeping for you. I'm Ashley Thoreen. I'm the product sales team leader. Chat moderator today is Amy Orwick. Hopefully she's with us. So she'll be helping to answer all the questions while we're going through, and then we'll pause and kind of go through some of them during the webinar as well. You are muted, so if you have questions, make sure you use that questions feature. Here's our agenda for today. So we're going to tell you where to go to get help when you need it. Talk about tips for success. We'll cover quickly the 5 skills and the 3 phases of the cookie program. We'll go over the very important caregiver meeting, talk about the Cookie Troop 100, and then we'll cover some important reminders and have some time for questions and answers after as well. So where to get help? Your first and best resource is your cookie book. If you have picked up your cookie packet and had your in-person training with your service unit cookie coordinator, you should have received one. We kind of call that the cookie encyclopedia or the cookie Google. Anything that you need to know is going to be in the cookie book. So I would suggest reading through that at least once, all the way through, cover to cover. You're not going to absorb everything. The sale runs for about 3 months, so there's a lot of information in there. However, that will give you a reference guide as to where to go when you have questions. So you have questions about booth sales. I remember seeing something in the book about booth sales. You can use the quick reference link or the table of contents on page 2 and kind of reference back and find the information that you may need. Your second resource is your service unit cookie coordinator. So that is the volunteer that manages the cookie program for all of the troops in your service unit. For those of you who are brand spanking new and may not know, we break down the council into service units, which are geographical chunks of troops, so that you guys can get more local support from the service unit volunteer team. So if you've not received your in-person training yet and you're a brand new troop manager, you need to do that. You can contact anybody on your service team. If you're unsure who your cookie coordinator is, you can let us know in the questions log. We'll connect you to that person, or you can contact our customer care line, which is our next point of reference for where to get help. So on the front of your cookie book is the customer care phone number, as well as the customer care email. We ask that you only use one method to contact us because it does create a duplicate record of the questions that you're asking. So either way, that we're really good about getting back with you when you call or email. And your next place to get help are the cookie webinars. So we have Cookie Rookie webinars, which we're hosting now. We have 2 more planned, one for this evening at 7 and one for the beginning of January, right before the sale starts. We're all going to cover the same information in those webinars, but we wanted to host several so that we had time to catch everybody. But then we also have Cookie Cafe webinars, which are hosted during the cookie season itself. So there's one during the initial order phase, one during the go-getter phase, and one during the direct sale phase, which kind of gives you tips and tricks and what to expect and what's coming up in the next several weeks during the sale. And then on our website, we have digital cookie resources, and there's a digital cookie help center in digital cookie. And we're going to dive into some of that information here in a minute. So tips for success. If I sit down and train any new troop manager, these are the things that I cover. So first and foremost, make sure you read your cookie book. Just sit down, read through it once, make sure you have the information in hand. If you need an extra cookie book, contact your cookie coordinator. They will have extras as well. Keep all your files and paperwork in one spot, whether that be a bag or a box. So many times people have said, oh, I had everything on the counter at home and my husband went through and cleaned, or my wife went through and cleaned and everything got thrown away. Can't do that. You have to have one spot for all your paperwork. Stay organized, keep everything in one place, and keep it where you know it's at. A lot of people use a bag. And if you're a brand new troop this year, you just formed, you'll get a Cookie Rookie kit when you attend your training. And there will be a bag that you can use then, so we suggest that. Go ahead and add all of the important cookie dates to your calendar now, whether that be in a paper calendar or in your phone, so reminders come up. Get all of those dates on the books now so that nothing sneaks up on you, you don't have any surprises in the timeline. And then don't be afraid to ask questions. Some people say, I'm afraid to ask questions. I don't know if it's a stupid question. There is no such thing as a stupid question. The stupid part is when you don't ask. So please, please, please ask questions, ask for help. Again, cookie book, then your coordinator, the customer care line. We are here to help. And then make sure you communicate with your caregivers often. We say caregivers because parent isn't always the correct term. So the person that's bringing the girls to the meeting, the person that's in charge of the girls. So make sure you communicate with them so that they understand what's going on throughout the program and know what to expect. And then another resource that you can use is our volunteer support Facebook group. If you are on Facebook and just type in GSWO volunteer or GSWO volunteer support, it should pop up. You have to be a registered member to join that group. Last I checked, I think we had over 1,200 people on there. It's a really great resource. Lots of volunteers sharing things and answering other volunteers' questions, and there's staff on there as well. So that's a really good resource for you if you're tech savvy. You should join our Facebook page. So we're going to dive into the 5 skills and the phases of the cookie program. So the 5 skills are the foundation of the product sale programs. This is what makes it a program and not just a fundraiser that your child would maybe participate at through school. This is what makes it an actual program for the girls. And there's 5 skills that involve with that. And the first one is goal setting, and it's always first because it's the most important. So girls should be setting goals for the number of packages they want to sell to earn the rewards. The troop should be setting a goal for the number of packages they want to sell in order to finance what they want to do with the troop, whether it's a service unit or a service project, or you're brand new and you want to have enough money to buy all the sashes and pins for the girls. Plan that way. You need to set a goal. That's the first step. And the second one is decision making. So that goes right along with that goal setting step. So if you ask a group of kindergarten daisies what they want to do with their cookie money, inevitably someone's going to say they want to go to Disney. So then you can kind of decide, okay, how do we scale it back? We kind of explain that's a really big trip, and then you can give them some options. Older girls may decide, hey, we do want to take a trip to Disney, and we need to plan and work for 3 years to do that. So there's a lot of decision making that goes along with that goal setting step. And next is money management. So not only is that girls handling funds, maybe at booth sales, but when they deliver cookies to their customers, but also it's teaching those younger girls that 4 quarters equals $1, $4 equals a box of cookies. So the girls are getting money management skills along with setting a budget with their goal setting and decision making. And then they're learning people skills. So my favorite story, and I hear the same story every year, different girl, she starts the program, she's really shy, she always looks at the ground, she's afraid to ask people that she doesn't know if they want to support her cookie business. By the end of the sale, girl's got a marketing plan, she's talking to everybody that she can get to talk to her. She has a speech that she's already prepared. She has gained those people skills and confidence to speak to people. And then business ethics is the last one, and people sometimes have a hard time grasping this one. So the way we explain it is that you relate it back to the promise and law. Girls are going to be responsible for what they say and do. So if that means if you take an order from a customer, you're going to be responsible, and you're going to say you're going to do what you said you were going to do, and that's deliver the cookies back to them and collect their payment. So that's how you can explain that skill. So again, these are the foundation of the product sale programs and what makes this a program instead of a fundraiser. So let's kind of dive into the phases of the sale, 3 phases of the sale. And if you do have your cookie book on page 3, it kind of breaks down the phases of the sale in chunks on the timeline for you. So the initial order phase runs January 6th through February 3rd. And again, January 6th is the date the girls can start taking orders. So they will, February 6th, they can start using their order taker to contact friends, family, neighbors, relatives, people at work to ask if they would like to support their cookie business. And a reminder, on the back of the order card is a complete list of the rewards that the girls can earn. And then also through the initial order phase is Digital Cookie. This is an online platform from GSUSA, so it's a secure site that the girls can log into and set up an account and send emails to friends and family inviting them to support her cookie business. Through that, customers can purchase cookies online with a credit card and decide, do they want the girl to deliver them, do they want to pay for shipping, do they want to donate them. It's really cool. This is the second year that we've done Digital Cookie. These are some of the stats from our first year, which was last year. We had a little over 2,500 girls participate in Digital Cookie. We sold over 80,000 packages, and almost a little over 11,000 of those were donated for Operation Cookie, which is our donation program. But my favorite stat from last year is that the average purchase through Digital Cookie was 7 packages. So anytime a customer sat down and they ordered, whether it was for girl delivery, to be shipped, or to donate, their average order was 7 packages. Data tells us that the average face-to-face purchase, so when a girl goes door to door and she asks somebody how many cookies they want to buy to support her business, they only buy about 3 boxes. So we've more than doubled the average purchase by using digital cookie. Okay, so the second phase of the cookie program is the goal getter phase. It's February 4th, so it starts the day after orders were due. Sorry, let me back up. Again, initial orders are due by February 3rd at 11:59 p.m. That's one date you want to put in your calendar now because you do get locked out of the system after 11:59 p.m., so you want to plan ahead. So the goal getter phase starts February 4th, runs through March 2nd. During that phase, the girls can use their goal getter order cards to collect additional orders. A lot of people don't know that girls can continue to collect orders through the entire program. So if there's anybody that she missed during the initial order phase, somebody wasn't home, she wasn't able to connect with them, or she has new places to visit, she can use her goal getter card. This is a color copy, obviously, but the cookie packets that you received have black and white copies, so it's just an additional order card. So when you collect the girls' initial order, you can hand this out to them. And also during this phase is delivery of the initial order cookies. It takes us about a week to deliver all of the cookies through the entire council. So we have different places, different locations, different times for everyone. If you don't know your delivery site or time that's closest to you, you can check in with your cookie coordinator. We do delivery a little different based on where you're at in the council. If it's a bigger population center, we do a mega drop where we invite lots of troops in at one time. And we schedule you, and you it's kind of like a drive-through. You drive up, you get out, count the cookies, we load them in your car, and you're out the door. Or we have some areas that do drop specifically for your service unit if you're kind of in a less of a bigger population area. So cookie delivery happens at the end of that phase, February 24th through March 2nd. And the last phase of the sale is direct sales or booth sale phase, March 3rd through the 31st. So this is when girls actually have cookies in hand. So not only are they delivering cookies to the customers from their initial order, but they could also be collecting more orders, and you need cookies. So we have cookie cupboards that are open during this time, March 3rd through the 31st. And they're in all different locations. There's a complete list of every cupboard in the council in your cookie book, I think on page 18 and 19. You can visit any cupboard in Western Ohio that you want to. And also during this phase is booth sales. This is where your girls and families and parents are out in front of retailers like Walmart, Kroger, Marsh, Main Street Marketplace, Sam's Club, Lowe's for booth sales. So you bring your own inventory to the booth sales as a troop. You can do a council-sponsored booth sale, which is one that we set up, which are those main retailers that I listed. Or you can decide you want to do a much smaller booth sale and do it at like a mom-and-pop grocery store, and that's called a non-council-sponsored booth sale, obviously. There's complete details on booth sales in your cookie book, and we will dive into booth sales a little bit further in our other webinar series, but I wanted to touch on that here. So I would mark the calendar that your cookie paperwork and payments are due no later than March 31st, or the turn-in date from your cookie coordinator. That's very important to remember. Spring break hits during this time for a lot of our school districts, so your coordinator may tell you that she needs your paperwork a little bit early. You need to abide by their deadline. Okay, we'll take a minute for questions. Amy, are you on the line yet? Don't know that she's been able to join us yet. I do not see any questions. Oh, there you are. Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. I don't see any other questions in the question log. So either we're doing really well or everybody's already been trained and this is just a refresher. So we will move along. Anytime that you do have questions, go ahead and use the questions log and type those in and we will get them answered. So next on our agenda is the parent or caregiver meeting. We're going to talk about why it's important, what to discuss, and what you need to collect. So the main reason for this caregiver meeting is to set clear expectations and guidelines for the families and to collect their permission slip. So you're going to review the dates and deadlines of the sale, make sure that they understand that there's no selling until January 6th. That's when the sale starts. Girls and families are on their honor, but you can certainly write in that date on every order card that you give them. Let the caregivers know how you're going to communicate with them, whether you set up a little Facebook group for you guys, or you do texts, or you do emails, or you do phone calls. Just let them know what to expect so that they know how to get your communications. And then you're going to go through the financial obligations of the parent, and that's where that permission slip comes in, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then you're going to do goal setting. This is that meeting where you're going to sit down with the girls and decide what do you want to do with your cookie sale money. Do you want to do a service project? Do you want to buy uniforms? Do you want to buy new books? It's all about what the girls want to do and make sure that it's girl-led. what to discuss at your parent meeting. So use your cookie book, again, your main resource. There is an outline of what to talk about on page 10. And then there's another resource for you, which is the 2017 Cookie Guide for Families. Think of it this way. This is like the parent cookie book. It's a booklet for them. And make sure you fill out the important information on the front. You're going to fill in your troop number, your name, phone number. Then you're going to give them all those due dates right now. Tell them ahead of time so they can mark their calendars. There's no excuse that they didn't know when the order was due or when you were picking up cookies or when money was due. And then we leave a spot for the family to fill in their digital order card, login, and password. You don't provide that. They get that themselves with an email that we send to them, but we wanted to make sure we left a space for them to fill that in. So some troop managers will go ahead and pre-print labels and just stick them right on there so you don't have to write in everything if you have a very large troop. Make sure you go over the 5 skills. Again, that goal setting, decision making, people skills, money management, and business ethics. That information is in their family guide as well. And then again, goal setting. Talk with your troop and your parents about what you guys are going to do with your proceeds. And then discuss the ways the girls can participate. So make sure you talk about the order card and explain digital cookie. And then the last and what's most important is what you need to collect. So that's the caregiver agreement form, and it's the last page of the cookie guide for families. It's actually a fold out, and it's perforated, so they can tear that out, and they're going to fill it in completely. So they're going to fill in their girl's name, the troop number. They're going to initial all of those lines, fill out the bottom, and then make sure they complete the rewards choices on the back. You don't know how many packages the girl's going to sell, but this will save you a lot of time in the long run, especially that t-shirt size. Most girls sell to that level. That's about the average of our girls in the council. You're not going to want to sit at the computer at 11 o'clock at night and call a family and say what size shirt, and you don't want to guess because then you have to exchange sizes. Just make them flip it over and fill it out now, and that way you will have it. You're going to make sure that you keep those caregiver agreement forms in one space. It's very important that you keep all of your paperwork in one spot. This makes that family financially responsible for any cookies that they sell and pick up from you, and that they're going to turn the money in on time. And then if you have girls with separated caregivers, each caregiver should complete a separate form. So you're going to run the sale separately for each parent or caregiver. So if mom brings her to meetings some weeks and dad brings her to meetings some weeks, you're going to get agreement forms from both of them and give them separate order cards. That way you don't have an issue at the end of the sale where one person signed but dad took cookies and never paid, but now mom's responsible. It's just easier to keep things separate. And then you can give them their cookie order card. So you have to collect that agreement form before you can give them the order card. Just like if you've already picked up your cookie packet, you had to sign an agreement form as the troop manager before they would give you the supplies. Same thing here. And you're seeing a theme. There's paperwork's important, and there's a paper trail for everything. Okay, so questions. Looks like we're getting some good questions, and Amy's answered them, but I think some of these are really good to discuss with everybody. So, somebody had asked if they could get extra packet or materials. So we usually only give materials for every girl that's registered in your troop. If they're not registered, they shouldn't be participating. The main concern is safety for girls, and if they're not registered, they are not covered under our insurance. But you can, somebody wanted to know what their troop sold the last couple of years for a good idea. If they're a new troop manager but their troop isn't new, you can let us know what troop number you are, and we can look up that information. Or if you were listed in eBuddy already, you can view last year's sales. Oh, really good question. Do you suggest due dates to a few days before the actual due date? Yes, absolutely. Give parents a due date of at least 1 to 2 days before everything's due, especially that initial order card, so that you have time to get everything in and taken care of and track people down if you need to. So somebody asked like the average sales from last year. Amy, can you look up that information for me? I believe it's close to 1,300 packages is the average troop sales from last year.
Yeah, I was just trying to dig that information. It looks like 154 boxes is the per girl average, so you can kind of estimate off that, but that's just an estimate. It just depends on how involved the girls and their parents are. There's a lot of different variables that go into that.
And we do know that we see troops that do a lot of booth sales typically sell more cookies than troops who don't, but but that 154, I mean, it's about half and half troops that do booth sales and don't, so that 154 is probably a good estimate. Oh, good question. If we know we have separated parents and we picked up the order forms, can we get an extra set for the other parent now? Yes. Talk to your cookie coordinator. They do have some extra supplies so that if you know you have 8 girls registered, but 1 girl has separated parents, you would need an extra set for that other parent. Just let your cookie coordinator know, and they will be able to get that to you. Okay, we'll move along. We'll continue to answer questions as they come in. Okay, so I want to talk about Cookie Troop 100. And if you guys don't know, this year marks the 100th anniversary of Girl Scouts selling cookies, which is really exciting. And GSUSA has put together a contest for to help celebrate the 100th year. So there's a Cookie Troop 100 flyer. It's available at our website, and it will be sent out through Cookie News that will come through eBuddy in January. So if you want a sneak peek, you can go to our website and check it out. I apologize, graphics are not coming through very well today. So there's 4 steps to the Cookie Troop 100, and the first is to set a troop goal, which you should do at your caregiver meeting anyways. And then you guys need to earn a cookie business badge, which is not hard. And the information for that is in your volunteer toolkit if you're also the leader. If not, you can check in with them. There's an outline for every single cookie business badge already built into the volunteer toolkit. And that's something that your leader can help you with the girls. And then you're going to make a plan to ask 100 new customers to buy cookies. And then you'll bling your booth. So the Cookie Troop 100 contest does include participating in at least 1 booth sale. So if you bling your booth and submit a photo along with completing these other 3 steps, 1 troop from our council is going to win $100, and 1 troop nationally will win $3,000 to support community service projects. So we will send the flyer out with Cookie News from eBuddy on January 3rd. If you want a sneak peek, you can visit our website and check it out. Remember, you'll set a troop goal, so a financial goal and maybe what you want to do for a service project. Start a cookie business badge, and then make sure you guys set a goal and make a plan to reach 100 new customers. So we're going to cover some important reminders before we get some new Q&As going. Make sure that you guys know that girls do not collect payment for cookies until they deliver them. No customer should pay out of their pocket until they have cookies in hand. The only exception to that is digital cookie, and they pay with a credit card. But if a girl's collecting orders door to door or via phone at work, they should not be collecting money until cookies exchange hands. And then this is a tip for troop managers. You have receipt books in your packet. Use those. You always use them. You don't use these for customers. This is interactions between you, other troops, and your parents. So anytime money or cookies exchanges hands, you write a receipt. You fill out the date, the troop number, the girl's name, you both sign. They are carbon copies, so there's a white copy and a yellow copy. I always tell you guys to keep the white copy. It's a heck of a lot easier to read, and give the yellow copy to the parent or the other troop. This is part of that paper trail. So if we have at the end of the sale a parent who doesn't pay their balance, I know some of that may come to a shock for some of you, but we do have some parents that don't pay their balance. We have a process in place that safeguards you and the girls and the money. We will handle that debt, but you have to prove to us that they had permission to sell, which is that caregiver agreement form, and then proof that they actually picked up the cookies, which is this receipt. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you keep accurate records and you use your receipt books and you keep everything in one spot. If it comes to the end of the sale and a parent owes a debt and you can't provide to us their permission slip or receipt book, that debt's then your responsibility. So again, that's why we tell you to keep all your paperwork in one spot, stay organized, and use your receipt books and collect that caregiver agreement form. Very important. As long as you're organized and keep all that together, you should be just fine. And then make sure to look for Cookie News emails every Monday starting January 3rd. We wanted to mix it up a little bit. Unfortunately, January 3rd is a Tuesday, but it's the first day that our offices reopen after the holiday shutdown. So that is the first day that you will receive an email from eBuddy. It will go to the email address that we have on file with your troop manager agreement form. So that will come every Monday with updates and news, things that are going on for that week. Make sure you don't unsubscribe from those. Even if you don't have time to look at them on Monday, save them so that you can go back to them and reference, because we'll send out important information through there. Okay. So other important reminders, make sure you sign up for the rest of our webinars through the cookie phase, or the cookie webinars through the program. So you can register for the Cookie Cafe webinars now at gswo.org/cookie resources. That's our quick link to everything that you need to know about cookies on our website. I suggest typing that full thing in your browser instead of clicking through our website. It is a little tough to find, so that's why we have that vanity link for you. And then make sure you're attending your service unit meetings. Your cookie coordinator should be there giving up-to-date information and providing additional training for you throughout the program. It's also a great way to meet other troop managers and get some tips and tricks. So make sure you're putting those on your calendar now. And then again, visit our website. We have tip sheets for digital cookie there for anybody from the parent all the way down to the troop manager, and custom reviews. Every resource that we provide, including a copy of the cookie book, a copy of the family guide, everything is on our website for download and viewing if you need to. So if you have already received your packet, you have some coupons in there, and you might be wondering what those are. They're called 5 for 5. It's a contest and a sales strategy for girls. You can participate with this if you want. It's totally up to you as a troop. But anytime a customer purchases 5 boxes of cookies and pays for them, then they get one of these coupons. So if they buy 10 boxes, give them 2 coupons. And they go to our website by that date and time, enter that special code, and it will enter them into a drawing to win 5 cases of cookies. So we know that the average face-to-face purchase is 3 boxes. So this could be an upsell for them. So the girl can say, oh, you'd like 3 Thin Mints. Well, do you want to get an extra one for you and maybe donate one? And then that will give you an entry in to win 5 cases of cookies. So there should be a stack in your cookie packet. If you need more, see your cookie coordinator. And then the next thing is cookie rally. So your service unit should be hosting, or your circle should be hosting, a cookie rally. And the theme this year is Cookie Palooza, and that is the adorable patch that any girl who attends a rally will receive. So contact your service unit and see if they are hosting a rally and get the information so that you and your girls can attend. If you're unsure who anybody on your service unit team is, let us know. We will connect you, and we can let you know if they're hosting a rally. Reminder that we do sell 8 varieties of cookies, and 2 of them are specialty cookies, including the Toffee-tastic, which are gluten-free, and then the 100th anniversary cookie, which is the Girl Scout s'mores. And both of those cookies are $5 a box. This information is in your cookie book, it's in the family guide, and the order card has the price for each box of cookies as well listed. So all of our other 6 top varieties are $4 each, and our specialty cookies are $5. All right, and then don't forget about Operation Cookie. I mentioned this earlier. This is our donation program. So customers can purchase cookies to donate to the men and women serving in the military. Operation Cookie purchases are tax deductible because they're not actually receiving a box of cookies in return for their purchase. And we donate cookies to Heroes in Action out of the Toledo area, and they support the men and women in the military. Last year we sent over 90,000 packages to them, which was pretty awesome. They were very excited. We had some logistics to figure out when we delivered 4 truckloads of cookies, but they figured it out, and they are working to get those out to the men and women in the military. So our data tells us that any girl that participates in the Operation Cookie program sells on average about 50 boxes more than a girl who does not. So there's something about collecting that extra donation that really does increase cookie sales. So it might be something that your troop wants to look at. And again, this information is in your cookie book. So we are at the end, but I do have some other questions that we wanted to go through, but I wanted to make sure that I copied and pasted some of these important links for you guys. I am going to put these in the, let's see, in the chat feature. Does that work? Perfect. So there's a link to our website where you can find all the cookie resources at gswo.org/cookie resources. Resources, I'm missing an E there. I'll retype that in there, sorry. org/cookie resources. I did it again. And then you can register for our next webinar, which is the Cookie Cafe Initial Order Phase webinar on the 24th. There's a direct link to register there. And then if you need to contact our customer care, the email is customerservice@gswo.org. And then, very important for us, if you guys wouldn't mind taking maybe 2 minutes at the most and fill out our survey for the webinar that you just attended. And anybody who's listening to the recording, there is a link to the very short survey that we'd ask you to fill out where just under the link where you click to watch the recording. So we'd really like to get your feedback on the webinars and make sure that we're answering all of your questions. Let's see here. We've got a couple of questions that I want to make sure that everybody hears. So somebody asked, is our s'mores just for this year only? That will be a decision made by GSUSA and the baker. We're unsure at this time if we will have these cookies next year, since they really do celebrate the 100th anniversary. But we know that we're going to have them for this year at least. Let's see. If you've noticed, some of the codes on your 5 for 5 sheets are the same. We did that to use our resources wisely. We found that it was very, very expensive to print a code with a different code on every single sheet or every single coupon. So we looked at our budget and kind of shifted that money towards our rewards and printed some of the codes are the same. We did double check, and there's nothing that will keep them from entering the same code twice. So girls are on their honor really to give the coupons out as the customers buy their boxes of cookies. Very important question. Someone asked, is a case of cookies one individual box? No. So we try to, and make sure in the cookie book, we list them as packages. So that's one package of cookies. And then in every case are 12 packages of cookies. And then someone asked, we had a troop member whose dad was deployed, thank him for his service, and that they sent cookies to his unit directly from their troop. Does that have to go through the organization that we use? No, that is called Troop Gift of Caring. So your troop can choose to decide to support a different organization or location for your donation cookies. Those would just be listed as Troop Gift of Caring and eBuddy instead of Operation Cookie. So by all means, if you want to send those to someone that you know or support another organization, that's up to the troop. Someone asked, when do I learn how to register for booth sales, the ones supported by council? So in your cookie book on page 3, you'll see a complete timeline. And you'll note the first sign up for booth sale reservations for council-sponsored booth sales is January 19th. And then there's subsequent sign-ups. There is a complete list of details on page 15 that will walk you through instructions in eBuddy on how to sign up for the booth sales, how to search for them, and the timeline again. So that first sign-up is January 19th at 6 p.m. So Patricia, hopefully that answered your question, or Ellie. Someone asked, if people donate for the troop, do we give them receipts? So if you're talking about Operation Cookie, there are receipts, I believe, available for download at our website that you can print out and give to them kind of as their tax deduction receipt. It's just a pre-printed like page of coupons that you can print out and put your troop number on and say thank you. If you're talking about troop donations, that's a different story, and the details on what to do if someone donates directly to your troop are in the volunteer resources. So if you have more questions about that, you can let me know and we can follow up with you later. So we finished our webinar a little early today, so I'm going to hang out for a couple more minutes in case you all have additional questions. Again, if you wouldn't mind taking a minute to complete that survey at SurveyMonkey, it only takes maybe 2 minutes. We really appreciate your feedback, and I hope that everybody who joined us today, you got something out of the webinar, and we provided what you expected and got your questions answered. Let's see. Amy, are you still there?
I'm here. I just keep muting and unmuting myself so you don't hear my background noise.
You're fine. Was there any other questions that got asked that we missed? I think we've got them all. I just wanted to review.
Yeah, I think you got them all. You actually were able to start answering them quicker than I was able to type some of the answers, so that was good.
Oh, I do want to mention that.
There is one more question. How do we send out the email for the digital cookie to our parents? You do not have to send that out. If the girl is registered and we have a valid parent email address in our registration database, the parent will automatically get a digital cookie access email. Next Friday, the 16th, is when those will start going out. So there's nothing you need to do on your end. That goes out automatically as long as we have a valid email address in our system.
Good question. And I forgot what I was going to clarify. Oh, here we go, more questions. Can you explain more about cookie dough? Oh, that's a very good question. So cookie dough is a play on words. It's not cookie dough. It's more like a gift receipt or a gift certificate. So girls at certain levels in the cookie program can choose to get cookie dough instead of the actual reward item. And it's basically a certificate that they can use to pay for registration. They can buy anything in our council shops. They can pay for registration fees for council-sponsored programs such as camp. And they can use it to pay for registration for service unit day camp. It does have an expiration date on it of December 15th of 2017. The girls will get that when they get their rewards in May of 2017. If you end up missing any of our webinars, you can visit gswo.org/cookie resources and view all of the recordings. We will have this recording up within a week to our website so that other folks can check it out. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end our recording now, and we will continue to answer some questions as we need to.